Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. So, right now we want to start by talking about the presumptive presumptive Democratic nominee, and obviously it's not Bernie Sanders, we wish, but that is none other than Joe Biden, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see. Well, I don't know why I wanted to say his full name, but I don't know, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
But there's obviously speculation out there that obviously, as you guys can see in some of his interviews, he's not doing so well when it comes to being very fluent and very attentive when it comes to being in front of the fucking camera at least more than 5 minutes. So he has some issues of staying put, not just to the conversations and the topics he's talking about, but also with the attention, right? The attention span he has. So, based on just that and the sexual allegations on top of him, the rumors that there are people that being they're being put in a list that might end up replacing him if the DNC decides that he's not
Up to the challenge.
up to the challenge of beating Donald Trump, which I think he's not, right? So let's see what we have here. It says the Hill. As Biden struggles, Hillary waits for the call, and obviously there's no other than Hillary Clinton, who just recently came out in favor of Joe Biden and supporting him publicly when there was a lot of establishment media covering his sexual allegations. It says right here, Hillary Clinton continues to hover in the wings, ready to step forward should Joe Biden fail. Don't look now, but Joe Biden is fading. Not only has his campaign been rocked by sexual assault allegations from one-time staffer Tara Reade, but the public is beginning to give up on the former vice president. A new Emerson College poll show that 57% of likely voters think that President Trump will win re-election in November. Remember, establishment Democrats put forward Uncle Joe because he was the safe candidate bound to defeat Trump. Oops. That's not the only problem that crops up the Emerson poll. It also shows that Trump supporters 19 po- is no. It also shows that Trump supporters 19 points more enthusiastic about their candidate than Biden supporters. That enthusiasm gap will drive turnout this fall. With the Democrats dependent on young people and minorities, both typically less reliable voters, the lack of excitement for the candidate could be a big problem. Also, the less than gung ho about Joe Biden is, particularly Bernie Sanders' army. Though the Vermont Socialist has endorsed Biden, 51% of Bernie Sanders supporters are, according to Emerson, open to voting for a third party candidate. Goddamn. Another red flag is Biden's tepid fundraising. According to the New York Times, Trump has a monster cash advantage of 187 million. Further, in swing state polling, the presumptive Democratic nominee is running behind where Hillary Clinton stood at this point in the race. And we know how that turned out, right? So, based on the article and the information we just read, Kenneth, what do you think about Joe Biden being switched by another candidate? In this case, let's put in, for
He's
example, Hillary Clinton.
okay. One, if Hillary Clinton replaces Joe Biden, I mean, I don't know. You must be crazy. I mean, you already saw the wreck that happened in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. If you say, "Hey, the best person to beat Trump is the same person that lost to Trump," you're an idiot. That's why. Um, but yeah, I mean, essentially, what it comes down to is, like I said, Joe Biden. He's kind of been absent. He hasn't really been a leader. He's been absent from the pandemic response. Um, his like I said, his only accomplishment is that he was like attached to Obama. Um, Other than that, no one really touts his issues. No one really even talks about his issues. I mean, if you think about it, everyone just kind of says, "Hey, he can beat Trump." That's kind of it. And so it was just I mean, I can see this. I mean, younger voters are not going to vote for Biden most
Yeah,
in high numbers.
mm,
He is gaining in older voters. The last time I saw, he's beating Trump slightly. But again, this could be in states where it doesn't matter. Uh, Hillary Clinton's endorsement, with who she endorsed him, he didn't. I mean, I think that's actually a negative for him because no one likes Hillary Clinton. He's enthusiastic. His voters aren't as enthusiastic as Trump. Like Trump is like what, like 19 points ahead of him in enthusiasm, which is
yeah,
ridiculous. I mean, that's a huge number. You're 19 points ahead, and it's like the article said when it comes to
younger brothers,
uh, voters that are less reliable.
supposedly.
Uh, right, enthusiasm is kind of the key. If you don't have enthusiasm, you kind of just lose. And so, and it's the stronger indicator of who's going to win the election.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I don't think there's a case for Joe Biden at this point based on those poll numbers alone. And
yeah,
the other problem is the raising money.
right, exactly. And so he's not putting ads out there. He's just getting hammered by Trump on every front.
We just covered an article. I mean, we just covered the story of what Joe Biden coming and asking Bernie Sanders for $7 for his supporters.
Yeah, it's just really ridiculous because it's the article said everyone put him up because they were the safe candidate or they thought he was the safe candidate. But as you know, as you see, as soon as he got out there, he's not even the nominee yet. He's just a presumptive nominee, right? He hasn't even officially been chosen by the party. He's already getting wrecked, like it's like a world record or something.
Yeah, yeah,
It-
like
it's it's crazy.
they're still effy about him. As you see, he is very much struggling to get the nomination, to get even people to come out and publicly and say I'm endorsing Joe Biden, especially right now that he's going through a huge scandal with the sexual allegation of Tara Reade that took the establishment media about 3 weeks to actually cut up to the story, right? Because obviously we knew this story when Bernie Sanders still was in the race, and obviously they did
I mean,
not decide to cover. I mean, to cover it because of the simple fact that they didn't want to give Bernie Sanders any advantage. But now that he's out of the race, they are being forced to cover.
right, and that's the thing, right? Is they also didn't want to hit hit him on the fact that he said he wanted to cut Social Security, and so it was just one of those things where, just like Hillary Clinton, they didn't properly vet these people, right? They tried to take every caveat they could find. Oh well, this didn't technically happen. They didn't really say that, or this was a slight difference, but people knew what they meant, right? And they didn't properly vet them. So now that they went out there and told the public, "Hey, this is the guy, this is the candidate, this is the strongest one," and now they're already faltering, right? You're gonna see the same outcome you saw last time, which is they're gonna start backtracking. It's everyone else's fault, yada yada yada. Because you see how Trump, like I said, Trump is already hitting him pretty much on every front. He
Yeah,
hasn't really even had a strong response
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
And it's just what can you do against that?
yeah.
Like when you're in Joe Biden's position.
And his campaign is not doing much when it comes to hiring the right people or bringing the right policies into the campaign that will make people at least a little bit more excited to vote for him. Or, you know, as you see right here in the article that was gonna just pop out, I think it. I don't know. You want to talk about this, Kenneth?
There's not really much to say, but so Biden, I think it was like what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah,
He hired Larry Summers as his economic advisor. Which, if you don't know who Larry Summers is, he essentially was one of the main people for why the financial collapse of 2008 happened, as he pushed in the Clinton era for really hard deregulation of banks. And so when we say like, hey, he's one of the main ones, he's like actually hands on one of the main people who are directly responsible
yeah,
for the financial collapse in 2008. And so in 2007, 2008. And so a lot of progressive groups have been calling for his removal. I'm one of them. I think he also needs to go. He's so bad that even when he was the president of Harvard, he lost so much money that they booted him. And he got into some feuds with some professors. And so when it comes to Larry Summers, he's just not good. I mean, if you like if you're talking, if you're one of those people who said, "Hey, Trump is just a symptom," this guy is disease is the disease. Like Larry Summers is the disease that causes those symptoms, and he will amplify them if you give him any more power that he already had. Like he is crony as crony could get. And he doesn't care about anything but making money for himself and his friends. That's it. He will destroy the country to do it easily, easily.
I mean, you could say that he's the Mitch McConnell of the Democratic Party.
He's the
It,
Mitch McConnell economist.
I mean,
He's Emperor Palpatine of economists.
yeah, but I mean, nobody knows about this guy because he's so bad at his
Out of sight.
job, right? And I guess Joe Biden's team was like, you know what, we should bring Larry Summers in our team, bro. That will give us a little bump. I don't know, like I don't know how. Like Joe Biden's team is so bad at their doing their job that they
He
go
was
out
one
of
of the.
their
He
way
was,
to hire this
Larry
guy.
Summers was also one of the people who told Obama to bail out the banks,
There you go.
like to continue to bail out the banks. Like that's how bad he is. Like when it comes to this stuff, he is not a friend of the people. Guarantee you that.
And that was one of the biggest mistakes that Obama did right when he got into office. And a lot of people got pissed. One of them being Bernie Sanders. Remember that he got really pissed at the fact that
Yeah, because the
Obama did
Bush
that.
bailed out the banks once, and then Obama did it again.
Obama,
It's like okay,
yeah, I saw that documentary. Even you could go to fucking PBS and see how the first term of Barack Obama was, and he just embraced the banks. He brought them to the table, and all these people were really scared because they
yeah,
really thought that Barack
you're
Obama
about
was
to get
gonna
back.
about to destroy them or at least send them to jail, and they didn't know what he's gonna say. And then once the meeting started, they were so surprised to the fact that
Barack Obama said, "Okay, guys, how are we going to handle this?" That's what he told them, and they're like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah."
no.
They didn't even come back the second time
Yeah, yeah. So
because they were like, "Oh, he's on our side."
he said, "Look, I want to give you guys all the help you guys need to reestablish the economy," and they said, "Germany, all right." They never came back. He actually Barack Obama called them and said, "Hey, we want to have another meeting to see where we at." They never showed up, never did because they knew that he was on his side.
Oh, so yeah. So when it comes to Larry Summers, bad guy. I think this is another hit. This is like another nail Trump could drive into the coffin. Like he's picking like the worst people. First, Hillary Clinton endorses him, and then he picks Larry Summers. Well, he picks Larry Summers first, but I think he has Larry Summers. It's just like, hey, we want Trump to win. But I think that's what it was. I think that's what it was the whole time. It was like we'd rather have Trump win than Sanders win. That's what it was about.
Yeah, yeah. They really, I think, yeah, like you said right now, perfectly. Just wanted Bernie Sanders out of there. And obviously, they're trying to portray that they care going against Donald Trump because he's a big threat. But let's be realistic. Most of these Democratic people are going to make themselves rich if Donald Trump gets reelected.
No, it's just like the Republicans. It was just like the Republicans. When you have Obama in office, the Republicans did nothing. Like they did absolutely nothing. Remember, these guys get paid completely high salaries, and they did nothing. Right? They did less than the Do Nothing Congress. Okay, the Do Nothing Congress did more than they did, so they were worse, right, than the ones that went down in history for doing nothing. And so now that Trump is in office, it's essentially the Democrats doing the same thing. Trump bad, let's do nothing. Look how bad Trump is. Not gonna Like
And
it's see it over and
and
over.
Trump has been able to get away with a lot of shit because obviously, Congress is still dominated by Republicans. It's just the House of Representatives that flipped towards the Democrats. But even them, they've been like signing bills for Donald Trump like there's no tomorrow.
They renewed the Patriot Act for Trump, gave him more money than he asked for in the defense budget for Trump. Republicans been packing the courts with extreme right wing judges. Obviously, it's the Brett Kavanaugh thing. It's just like the dynamic. People say Democrats versus Republicans. Maybe when it comes to the people, But when it comes to the politicians, I literally think Democrats are an enhancement of Republicans. Republicans come in, they do all the crazy stuff, take the heat. Democrats come in and they're like, okay, cool, let's lock it down, and then you just repeat the cycle.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it seems to be the whole business between both parties. And unfortunately, that's our reality. And this is why we, as progressives, are fighting so often to make a case, not just for ourselves, but for the people who want to at least represent us in Congress and our districts. All right. And it's really hard when you have the whole corporate side against you, especially the corporate Democrats or Republicans. All right. And Joe Biden is like, you know what? They're my friends, and I'm going to embrace that 100%. And there's no way in hell that I'm going to do the opposite. And that's why his popularity is so low. And that's why no one's been very enthusiastic to vote for him, even though we have the whole Trump's reelection aside that no one really wants to, right? No, we don't want Donald Trump and the fucking Republicans to get in office again. We already went through 4 years of pure bullshit with them.
I mean, Trump explicitly said if he wins re-election, he's cutting Social Security. He said that. He just straight up said that.
Joe Biden said it too.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like because it shows that how disillusioned people are in Washington because everyone on TV is saying Trump is terrible. But everyone on the ground is saying like, well, yeah, he ain't good, but no one is. Like Trump isn't good, but yeah, I've yet to see a candidate that was good except Bernie Sanders. And so it's just that you know when people scaremonger or fearmonger about Trump, it's just I think it really falls on deaf ears. I think most people are just like, yeah, he's just another part of the swamp, just like you guys. And then I think that's why that it works. I think that's why
Yeah.
it's so ineffective.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why the whole thing for unity or the whole call for unity or to get behind Joe Biden is not working. And we are like almost in the middle of the year. We're like almost getting close to, some kind of presented nominee to be declared as the actual nominee. And then we go into the whole general election. And obviously, we haven't even started that. And fucking Joe Biden is struggling massively.
There's a reason why you see all the popcorn memes about the general debate between Trump and Biden. Everyone wants to see like it's gonna be a crazy thing to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have a person who can't
No,
tell the truth, with a
a
person
lot of
who
people
can't tell
can't
the
wait
truth.
for that to happen. Imagine, maybe remember when the Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump was gonna go. People were waiting for that, and it turned out to be like we thought it was going to be. All right, he wrecked her in some of the debates, which was amazing because she couldn't kept straight with the BS that she was telling the people, and
I mean,
obviously,
she was kept on the defensive
yeah,
because that's what Trump does.
yeah,
Like Trump, I mean, Trump said it himself. Never apologize for anything because it only makes you look weak. So he
yeah,
lies. He go out there, lies. Says that's nice.
yeah.
Continues
And
lying. There's nothing you can do about
And
it.
Joe Biden is gonna change his mind 24/7. One day he's gonna say one thing, another minute he's gonna be saying another thing, and then obviously Donald Trump is gonna call that out.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because now Donald Trump is on record saying he wants Medicare for all for the coronavirus. All right.
Yeah.
Donald
So
Trump quoted Medicare for all for the coronavirus. He may not have really wanted it, but he said it on camera.
yeah.
And Joe Biden on camera said, "No, I don't
No.
support Medicare for all, even for coronavirus."
So
You have to play that, like,
it takes a little.
yeah, it really does.
Takes a little for Donald Trump to make a case for himself, and that's
Right.
the sad part. That's the sad part. Unfortunately, we find ourselves in this position. So with that being said, I think please let us know what you think about Joe Biden and actually them hiring Larry Summers to be their economic advisor for the Democrats if they happen to win. Let us know what do you think about that. Let us know what you think about the whole replacing Joe Biden. Will you be in both with the Democratic Party if they do that? And if it happens to be Hillary Clinton or someone else, also let us know down below what you think about that. And please make sure to subscribe to the channel. That will help us out a lot to grow. And until next time, all right? Peace. Kenneth, you had anything to say before we leave?
Bye.
Vote for Kenneth for District 19. I mean, maybe one day he'll has the balls to run for.
Fine, I'll bring the UFO back. I promise.
Yeah. All right then. Peace.